So I'm redoing this video because I'm not super smart apparently, and I just deleted a lot of footage. But I am reviewing today the PRP Elixir from Arkana. I have makeup all over my hands, forgive me. So this is from a Polish brand called Arkana. They have several lines that are super, like, kind of almost biotechy. I mean, at least high-techy. But this is from their PRP line. It uses, it's the elixir, but it uses peptides that they're designed to mimic, or they're used and it's designed to mimic PRP treatments, which I'll discuss in a moment. But I looked up the etymology for the word Arkana, and it means hidden treasure, which I find kind of compelling. I think it sort of fitting to the whole theme of trying to find, like, that coveted skincare secret, you know, the holy grail or magic potion, to have, you know, vibrant, youthful, supple, perfect skin, if you will, and to, you know, to have it remain that way indefinitely. That made me think of something that I believe I saw on, like, the History Channel. It's probably on YouTube and then sort of books, Wikipedia, what have you. But it was this story about this woman. She was a Hungarian noblewoman, a countess. Her story is apparently, like, was all or part of the inspiration. I mean, I think that's debated, but for Bram Stoker's classic horror film, Dracula. She would, like, pretty much, like, torture, maim, and then, like, kill and slaughter all of these. Kill and slaughter? I mean, I'm pretty sure both of those have the same end game. But, so she would torture all of these young maidens and kill them, the countless maidens. It's set in history. And she would, hey Lala, hey baby. She would bathe in their blood, because she held the belief that would give her either eternal life, you know, or at least, like, aesthetic immortality, which I think more so the latter. She had not entirely the wrong idea, and that conveniently brings me back around to the procedures that this serum is designed to mimic the effects of, because they are lovingly known as vampire facials. So clever. Sorry. The reason they're called that, obviously, like, you're not using other people's blood, and you're not bathing in it. You don't have to do any slaughtering. A blood sample basically is taken from the patient, so it's your own blood. It's autologous. And from that blood sample, via centrifugation, they isolate and extract a platelet product. Recently, they've been using platelet-rich fibrin, but we're talking about, like, the pioneer of it all, platelet-rich plasma. They're both effective. Platelet-rich fibrin is arguably the more effective, but this was named after PRP because that's, like, the basic, like, kind of blanket that covers all of that. So yeah, platelet-rich plasma. It's plasma from your blood that is rich in platelets, and they use it for like microneedling or mesotherapy, and a few different other things to create like an environment under your skin where there's like an abundance of growth factors and collagen. Not to mention, microneedling itself is also known as collagen induction therapy. It's creating like a localized, concentrated, like induced healing process, like a little tiny wound that causes your skin to repair itself. But it's just it's now become, since it's not wounded, it's become like extra beauty, or extra suppleness or tightness, all of those things. I have another video about PRP and PRF if you want to learn more about them. I'm a little bit low on sleep right now, so this would be a good product then, kind of deductive reasoning, for people that have a severe distaste or aversion to needles or blood, people who don't like going into hospitals or clinics, or given the current state of things, people who don't want to go into public much, especially into an enclosed clinic or a hospital. I guess clinic would be more like it. Or people that want to use it in between non-invasive procedures for like regenerative purposes, or following even invasive surgical procedures. It has a really like regenerative formula in it. It's something you can also use just daily. In my other video, I made the mistake of going over every single ingredient in detail and taking the time to define words like emollient and emulsifier, and going over like the source of the ingredients, and it dragged this out to like a good 45 minutes or so. That's being generous. I will not subject you to that kind of torture. Or myself. I wouldn't say be torture, but I'm kind of tired. I want to get this done. I even looked up like specific FDA regulation verbiage to ensure that I was able to back up any claims that were made on on the packaging or on the website. And then I realized that since this product is made in the European Union, I had to look at Poland's regulations, which you'll hear about shortly. What I will tell you is that I looked up every single ingredient, which I have a tendency to do. I can be a little bit, perhaps, like, over-efficient, over-analytical, maybe a little bit neurotic, and, yeah, I don't know, I just maybe overdid it a little bit, but, you're welcome to request that video, and I'll post it. Just leave it in the comments. Just leave it down below in the comments, because I'm sorry, there's so many, like, YouTube cliches. They're not a bad thing, they make sense, it's just funny. So, like, yeah, instead I'll go over some key points. Basically, all of the basic, all of the ingredients add some, direct benefit on the skin. Most of them were not for, like, formula or aesthetic, or not for formula as in, like, I shouldn't say not for the formula, but for, consistency. There's a few in there that might help with that, but they still have direct benefit on the skin. It did say alcohol and it did say parfum, but those were both less than 1%. And just so you know, there are some alcohol products, for instance, like grain alcohols or ethers of alcohols, that are actually like have no, there's no negative consequence on your skin. There's another video where I talk about the negative effects of alcohol if it's in high concentrations or like below 1%, and certain types of alcohol. You can watch that too. And there's another video where I talk about fragrance, but I won't go into that either at the moment. So the noteworthy active ingredients in this are the GHK-Cu peptide and the W3 peptide. Those two work particularly well together. Also, there's this stuff called, forgive my pronunciation, but Incha Ichi, and then also squalane and chia oil. One thing I'll say about chia oil is if you're into, I don't know if you've heard of like hydrogel. It's like a polymer chain product capable of holding and carrying multiple times its molecular weight and in liquids like water, and also being able to change shape as it does so without losing any mass, which is pretty cool. I think that it's sort of like plant equivalent with that same sort of superpower would be chia seeds. I'd say they're kind of like the veggie people's form of gelatin. They're used in like foods and skincare products and very hydrating. But I'm going to go over the ingredients, the active ingredients. The W3 peptide, its creation was it's said to be inspired by the 2012 Nobel Prize in Chemistry. And how it works is it uses like cellular signals to repair your damaged cells and like encourage the growth of collagen. If you didn't know this, collagen is the understandably hyped and particularly well known, in some circles. If you didn't know, you're learning. It's a protein responsible for like the firming and tightening of skin. Has a partner named elastin that's also really good. That's for like, flexibility, stuff like that. Your skin. Yeah. The W3 peptide is said often to offer non-invasive alternative to PRP treatments, as well as the next peptide I'm going to talk about. It's considered a third generation in peptides, and it's been clinically proven to activate cell vitality, and it also, combats wrinkles, and it brightens skin and tones skin. GHK-Cu is a type of copper peptide that reverses the effects of aging by reactivating stem cells, and it also stimulates the skin's naturally occurring process of regeneration by like a number of processes. It also enhances collagen protection, which counteracts drooping and sagging because it improves elasticity. And it has another name, which is copper tripeptide 1, and I'll explain that. The GHK part, so it's GHK-Cu, and the GHK part is 3 amino acid peptide of glycine, histidine, lysine, and it can be found naturally in our rather unpleasant bodily fluids. I was going to say depending on who you are, but not really depending on who you are. They're just unpleasant, but like plasma, saliva, and urine, which there's the E word, plasma. So it's part of the natural process, and it's a part of, or I should say it's a part of the procedure, and it's also in the product. So it's part of why the procedure works, and it's also part of why the product mimicking the procedure works, because it's the exact same factor involved, the exact same peptide involved. Okay, sorry. And the Cu part is copper, which is an essential trace element in the human body, not just the metal we use for stuff. And it's in the human body as well as like all living things. Pretty much all living things have copper in them. And so GHK and Cu are drawn to each other, and they bond. They meet. They form a complex that is called copper tripeptide, or copper tripeptide 1. And yeah, like I said, since these things naturally occur in our plasma, it's no surprise that they're both active parts of PRP treatments and active parts of this product's effectiveness in mimicking PRP treatments. Mimicking said treatments. I suppose I shouldn't have said PRP so many times. I say it quite a bit in this, probably. Okay, this is crazy. So you know how I said that I looked up like regulations in Poland or in the European Union in general, and I found out that there are over 1,300 harmful ingredients that the U.S. allows in products and skincare products that the European Union has banned, so their products are free from them. They have stricter regulations on skincare ingredients and generally like higher standards overall with the product quality as well as safety, like across the board. They're just more efficient. I would say that it's noticeable. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but we have that whole issue with Monsanto and our crops. Or I don't know if you've ever read the book Anti-Harvest. That's also a thing. But our wines and our there's pretty much corn and everything. I'm not going to give you a lesson on that, but pretty much there are people that come here from Europe and say that they taste wine and it has a distinct chemical taste. Like, we've probably grown accustomed to it. We've never known anything different, right? Or we haven't spent enough time away from it to notice it. But they noticed a distinct chemical taste in wine here, the same type of wine, or the same, I'm sure brand even. There's different formulations, different laws for the same brand of product. But they don't notice it in Europe, or they don't notice it, wherever else in the world they come from. So that's pretty, I don't know, it's just something to think about. I think that it's a positive thing, getting products from places that are looking out for people. I'm not going to make this political, but I'm just saying. Oh wow, okay. I just thought I stopped the video. I haven't been recording, but okay, so this stuff feels like really good on my skin. It feels like it's like drinking it up. I've noticed like a sensation with some immediacy, like after using it and over time using it also, of like how a water balloon must feel when it's filling up with water. Like the surface of it is tightening and like I don't know, becoming maybe not a really full water balloon because it would thin out. It's not quite like that. It feels like there's definitely something good going on with my skin. This stuff smells wonderful. It's like a very like kind of understated, clean, subtle scent. It's like less is more. I feel like skincare is just it's like it's a really subtle, good smell. But and yeah, you don't want a lot of fragrance in your skincare anyways, but it does smell good. And I'll stop rambling about that, I suppose. But I'm noticing the effects, and I'll post the before and afters. You guys will really get to see side by side difference. I'm sorry for posting this, being somewhat exhausted and maybe even a little bit dehydrated. And I obviously didn't wash off my eye makeup with very much effectiveness. So it's probably, I don't know, I'm looking a little zombie-licious, but maybe just so much. Oh, the other thing I was going to mention is, so Arkana cannot for some reason ship directly to the US. So they have a distributor whose services I used. Keep in mind currency is different, euros, being converted to the American dollar. But I used a website called eurobeautiful.com. They have a lot of Arkana products. And I went on their website when I was searching for this, because I went through the whole process of trying to order from Arkana and realized because I'm in the US I couldn't order directly from them. So I googled it and I found Euro Beautiful, and they have, I believe, a 20 or 30% discount if you just sign up for their mailing list, and they're not one of those incessant kind of spammy emailers. They'll send you a thank you note, and if they have any promotions going on, from what I've noticed. If you are doing making this order at the time, around this video being made or posted, I'm sure that you will also find there's some other discounts going on because it's around Black Friday, Cyber Monday type thing. So, Euro Beautiful just got a free advertisement from me, but I approve this message. I condone that. So, I was very glad to be able to get my hands on this, and needless to say, because I've said it already, I'm impressed with this product. So does it get the Nicole stamp of approval? Do I approve of the texture and the smell? Yes, it has a clean, subtle scent, and the texture has a nice slip over your skin, and it absorbs well. Does this really mimic PRP treatments? Yes, this is the best for that. The W3 and GHKCU peptides are designed to do exactly that, and they work well together. In addition, the other main ingredients help with this. Not to mention that this product has the highest recommended concentration of these particular peptides of most products on the market. Do I approve of the ingredients? Yes, I went over every single one thoroughly, and they're all good for your skin. Is it free from or less than 1% of toxins and irritants? Yes, it is free from toxins and irritants. It contains less than 1% alcohol, and the other alcohol products are ethers, making them not irritants, but actually good for your skin. And the only fragrance product is Parfum, standing at less than 1% in the formulation.